It's Big Mouthy.
My name's Jani, and I do what I want when I want.
Let's take it way back. When did your music career start, and how did it start? Like
Professionally, like earning money,
no. Just like when did you get the passion for music?
Oh, day one, baby.
Day
I
one.
remember my earliest memories are with we had like this 3-track CD player. We had CD players back in the day. No, but you could put like 3 CDs in there,
Yeah.
and it would like rotate. And one of the ones that was on rotation, that's probably where that phrase comes from.
Probably.
On rotation. It was Prince of Egypt. The Prince of Egypt soundtrack. And
the movie?
I remember, huh?
Like the movie?
Yeah, the
Okay,
movie,
yeah.
yeah. So me and my brother and my sister, we would just like put that on, like dance and hold hands and like dance in a circle. So that's, just always music playing in the house. And always had a love for tunes. So yeah.
Okay, and going to middle school, high school, and all that. Were you performing, or were you playing, or is it just still the passion?
Yeah, so I always loved just playing. So I picked up guitar when I was like 7.
Okay.
Sucked for a little bit. Got better at like 12 years old, like 11 years old when I started homeschooling. But moving into high school, I quit because I just didn't have enough time to practice.
Right.
And I was running track and like doing other things and balling out in that area. So
Yeah.
I was in a theater program here in North Carolina, and yeah, I would do musicals. We did like Footloose. I can't remember. I didn't do too many because I was just too preoccupied. But yeah, I was. I was
You're
in
doing
like,
a lot.
yeah, I was in like music theory classes and always hanging around. People playing music, so playing
Yeah.
ukulele and whatnot.
So what all instruments do you play then?
I play ukulele, guitar, bass, drums, and that's about it. I've dabbled in the keys, but bro, the instrument just does not speak to me when I'm playing it.
Fair
so I'm
enough.
just like, I've tried to sit down and learn it just
Yeah.
to have the skill, but it just doesn't hit me as much as drums or guitar. So
Okay. And then
Yeah.
when did was there a point where you decided like music is what I want to do for the rest of my life, or is it just?
I think I've always just been scared to do it. There's this mountain I have in my brain where it's just like this mountain of fear of just like, oh, what if this goes wrong? What if this goes wrong? What if this goes
Right.
wrong? But then like, I had some rough moments, some rough patches back in the like 5 years ago, and I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna die, like I might as well die trying. I mean, I'm not going out like, oh, I was too scared.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get to 35 and be like, man, I wish I would have X, Y, Z. Like I'm not going out like that. Like you only get one shot at life. So I was like, all right, we're just gonna just do it and do the steps. I don't know if it's gonna be for the rest of my life.
Sure. Yeah.
I think that puts a little too much pressure on me.
Fair enough.
I know I enjoy it right now, and I know it is a quest that I want to continue to be on for quite some time. So yeah.
Cool. And so a lot of times, I was talking about this with another musician. They own the School of Rock in Cornelius, and he owns a school up there. And we talked about like the what ifs in life. It's like a lot of people, when they do end up passing, they have a lot of what ifs. Like, what if I picked up the camera? What if I continue music? What if I? What if I? So it sounds like you're like right now in your life, you're living out your what ifs. Like, so at least maybe one less what if.
Literally, I talk to myself like that. I'm just like, you know what? So a lot of times, like I remember, like during the summer of like high school, between school years, you're like, man, what if we like just drove to the mountains and stay up there,
Yes,
whatever,
exactly.
right? But then you never do it.
Nope.
I got to a point where I was like, what if I did this? And I was like, you know what? Every time I have a what if, I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah.
So not just in music, but just like in other things as well. Like sometimes I'll just pack up my SUV and be like, I'm gonna just drive to the beach for a day or like a weekend and just camp out solo by myself. You know what I mean? No plan, just bring my guitar and just like hang out and just talk to locals and stuff like that. Just I've done that. Or just random stuff like that.
Yeah,
But,
just doing it. So you're living out your what ifs. That's what's up.
oh yeah, baby.
I think it's cool, when you find your passion and things like this. It seems like it's like I started doing this 2-3 months ago, and
Okay.
but it seems like a lot of people, they have like that moment that they find their spark, and they also have a moment where they almost lost their spark. Have you
Yeah.
ever almost lost your passion for music or your spark for music?
Yeah, for sure. Everything's in seasons. I don't think it's realistic to think you're always going to be up. You're always going to be inspired. You're always going to be what whatever, everything has an ebb and flow. I had some challenges like early on, just learning how to earn money and learning how to, even before I started earning money, just like learning how to engineer and like teaching myself how to learn and how to get better. It's such a nuanced thing in audio engineering, and in music. A lot of it is like based on feeling, and a lot of it is based on, which is oftentimes not exactly a repeatable process.
Right.
So it was hard to come from, my track background where it's like, it's almost a direct correlation. You run 7 miles a day, you run 8 miles a day, you'll see improvement.
Right.
You do the workouts, you sleep well enough, you drink enough water, you try hard enough, you're gonna see improvement no matter what, right? A lot of things in life aren't that direct. So it was really, really tough for me at the beginning to be like, man, like I suck right now. Sometimes I have those outliers where I'm like, oh, this song sounds great, or this hook sounds great, this melody sounds great. But I'm like, I want to do it every time. You know what I mean? And it was really, really tough when I was first starting out to get to a point where I'm like, all right, I'm consistently making. I can step into the studio at any moment and make something. Start an idea, doesn't have to be great, but anyways.
Yeah, no, for
Hopefully
sure.
that's the question.
No, yeah, definitely did. So, for your music, what would you classify yourself in any specific genre? Because I've heard, listen to some of your catalog, and sometimes it seems like it can, it varies, which is cool. Like, I think you have to be versatile as an artist.
Yeah.
So do you feel like, you fit into one group, or you like to just see whatever comes?
I like to just make whatever I want to make because I've tried to be like, take the traditional route of like, all right, I'm gonna make these types of songs and I'm gonna make like 8 of them or 10 of them. And then every time I start making the thing and I'm like, I'm not hitting anywhere even near what I was like, what I was aiming for. Right. So I just allow myself to just explore whatever route I'm taking. I have a lot of different tastes and a lot of different interests as well, so I think that reflects in the music. I love rap. I love guitars. I love jazz stuff. I love heavier stuff. I love metal. Like I have all these different inspirations. It's chaotic. And I think the more and more I just listen to my body and how I'm reacting to what I'm hearing, I think all those inspirations start to come out.
That's sick.
I love blending genres and stuff. That's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
So.
What do you feel about like AI in music? Do you feel like
we're cooked?
Yeah.
We're cooked.
Does it have a
They're
play?
too good.
So you think they're good? Like in your
I don't know. I haven't really leaned into it. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really care that much. Sure. I think people care about experiences a lot, which is why I think the live show is so important. Like seeing someone, I just went to a blank stage show and they were just like absolutely ripping on stage.
Yeah.
And they were like jumping in the crowd, like super sweaty. The crowd's like swirling around. They're climbing up on top of the speakers and like screaming into the mic. AI can't do that.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
Nope.
So I think those moments, those are the things that really stick with you. And I'm not too worried about the live experience going away. Maybe the shows will get smaller. I don't know. Just because there's more people making music, there's more access to it. I hope that garbage music doesn't come out because of it. But I don't know, man. I'll say this too. Like I think the beauty in making music and doing anything is like learning how to make what you want to make. And I think AI taking that process out, I think there's gonna be a lot of people that don't love it as much, or the people that do figure it out and take the time to like learn the more traditional routes, or at least learn their process and really hone it in.
Right.
Those are going to be the ones that really like rise to the top and keep making waves and keep creating these moments for people.
Yeah. That's really cool. No, I mean, I've always find it interesting. Just there's just so many different AI things in general out there right now, and
I haven't even looked into it. What have you seen?
So for my graduate program I did a little bit ago, I actually did like a whole like documentary about like AI at my college. I went to Coastal Carolina, and you have your surface level things like ChatGPT, Google, things like
Yep.
that, but then you have like the under surface level. So, for example, there's programs out there that can make apps for you.
Yeah.
There's programs out there that can make music for you. There's programs out there that can you can enter like I want to hear Drake sing, I don't know, Gone with the Wind or something like just
Yeah.
any type of thing like that. You can do like that. I'm sure there's even deeper stuff than I can
Yeah.
even do. So I mean I can only imagine like the dark side of the web, like what they
Yeah.
have access to.
Yeah.
It's cool and it's scary at the same time because
Yeah.
it's like automation is interesting.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. Yeah, humans are very adaptable. So I
Yeah.
think whatever happens, we're just gonna adapt to it
Yeah.
and just continue to press forward.
100%.
So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough. So let's get into some of your songs, man. I think my favorite song that I heard of yours, I think the first one was, oh, why am I drawing a blank? No, I think it was I Hate New York. I don't know. I really like that chorus. And then it was I think Dark Slide. I really like Dark Slide. Yeah,
Yeah,
Dark Slide.
yeah,
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 I
yeah.
love the music, the instrumentals in
Shout
that
out boy
one.
band too.
Oh, is that somebody the
That's
guy
the
you
feature,
collab with?
yep.
Do you have a favorite song or album even that you've produced or
That I
that you've
produced?
created? Yeah, or even that you've been on.
All the new stuff's fun. For the first two projects, I wasn't performing at the time. I made it during like 2020 and like 2021. So I was alone in my room a lot of the times making those songs. And I realized those songs hit in your headphones, in the car, sitting down playing video games,
Yeah.
which is kind of the space that I was recording and producing in.
Yeah.
As soon as I started playing like open mics and like started doing more shows, I was like, oh, I need to make songs that hit live, that have like different dynamics and like
Oh, that makes
different
sense.
moments during the song that make you want to like actually move. I quickly realized like also like no one really cares. Like I'm gonna be honest, like no one really cares. At least in my opinion, I got a lot of opinions. Maybe
Sure.
they're bad. Maybe this is a hot take. Hot take right here, getting it right here live on
Big Mouth E.
Big Mouth Eve. No one really cares what you have to say until something else draws them in. For me, when I walk into a show, oftentimes the first thing I recognize is can I groove to it? Drums, bass. That's
Yeah.
like everything. And then you're like, oh, cool, this is kind of nice. And then, melody's catchy. Okay, cool, this is awesome. And then you start to pay attention to what they're saying.
Lyrics,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? At least I've analyzed my own thought process.
Yeah.
And that's how I've always become a fan of people. So I think, when I started writing songs in that way, that's when people really started to love the songs. And moving forward, I think that's
Yeah.
best route.
And now that you say that, I can definitely notice that. The thing I like about and medicine is a great one too.
Thank
I
you.
like that it, like you were saying, it ebbs and flows. Like when I thought I Hate New York was gonna end, you bring the chorus right back in, and then you bring that energy back up, and
Yeah.
I think that's what I really like about music. Because sometimes music does stay stagnant. It stays the rhythm, the rap, or the lyrics. They stay like the same energy, but like I like when it comes up and down.
Yeah.
So-
I think, Paul Epworth. I mentioned two albums, Florence and the Machine, Florence and the Machine's Lungs. There's a song called Dog Days.
Okay.
The dog days are over, or whatever. I don't know if you've heard it. It came out when I
think
was
so.
like in high school.
Okay.
But that song repeats the hook like 4 times or something, like 4 or 5 times. Never drags.
Never.
Every time it hits, every time it feels good. I'm like, I love songs that are able to just like reintroduce itself over and over and over and over and
Yeah.
like give it new life. And I think that's a sign of a really, really good producer. And Paul Epworth's one of my favorites. Hopefully, Paul, I know you're watching this. This is gonna get to you. I'm putting that energy out there.
Yeah.
Let's make something, dog. I think we should have a lot of fun. So I think we connect on stuff. All right.
No, that's really cool. Yeah, I love when the songs has the different energies.
Yeah.
Because even if it has like a really, really upbeat energy the whole time, it can get exhausting
Yeah.
almost like to the mental. So it's cool when it ebbs and flows. So
Mm-hmm.
The cameras can't see this, but right now we're looking at the infamous cul-de-sac that I've seen in a few of your videos, especially
Yeah.
for medicine.
Yeah.
Why did you choose to make this the scenery for some of your clips?
Easy access.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I think I always try to think things differently. How are people actually interpreting things, and how are people? You need to sort of be shocked, and you need like your brain. People are so visually literate nowadays. Like we're on our phones all day, every single day. Something needs to pop out to you, and it's like there needs to be things in the video that make it like intriguing, right?
Right.
How many times have you seen a band inside a studio or like, you know, or
Yeah.
inside the room doing something or, you know. So I was like, all right, let me put myself outside. Let me put myself masked playing all the instruments. I wanted a couple things. I wanted the visuals to match the energy of the song. And I also wanted the energy to, energy and the music match the visuals, and the visuals like match the energy of like my own personality. I think
Okay.
that's hard to do like inside,
Yeah.
like, you know, I can do it inside and stuff like that, but it's several layers of like, oh wait, cool. Like medicine like blew up on TikTok for a couple, like last week or something like that. So I'm dating this video now, but a lot of people are like, "Oh, sick! I wish my neighbors were that cool." Or
Yeah,
like,
I do see
"Oh,
those
like
comments,
I
yeah.
wish I could have done that," something like that. You know what I mean? And they're like, "Oh," so I think that adds a layer of like, "Oh, I'm not just watching someone play music. I'm watching someone like do something outside of the normal." But then you're like, "Oh wait," you watch it for a little bit. You're like, "Oh wait, he's playing all the instruments." You're like, "Oh wait, this song actually rips."
Yeah.
Oh wait, like this dude's like a black dude and playing guitar.
Yeah.
There's several different layers to it, I think. And I found out a formula that I like, and it's just nice and easy. Whatever. Maybe
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that. I don't know, but hey, I think it's cool. I think my 12-year-old self would think that's awesome. So
Yeah.
I just ran with it. You know.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So, for writing these songs, do you have a process? You don't have to share your secret sauce, but I'm just wondering, like, is there a process for you to get in
I'm
the
never
vibe?
afraid.
Okay.
I'm never afraid to share sauce, dude. If you're
Okay.
an engineer or a music person, just ask me. Like I'm very busy and I always like forget to get back to people. But I think that's so. Can I curse on here?
Yeah.
I think that's fucking lame when engineers. You can bleep it out. I think it's fucking lame when engineers and musicians don't share their knowledge. Like I think that shows you're so insecure about like your position in whatever you're doing. Like I have spent so much time by myself just trying to learn stuff by myself and like who am I not to share this knowledge? Like that's so lame. So sorry to cut you off.
No,
But
no, no,
anyways,
you're
go
good.
ahead.
You're on point. Like, you're not a gatekeeper. Like,
No, why would that's so lame. Yeah, go ahead. What was your question? Sorry. What was the secret sauce or how do I
Oh yeah, did you have a process for like writing your songs or a process for like, getting into the groove of actually making music?
Right now, I like to start with drums. I think drums are what inspire pretty much everything. Mentor told me a long time ago, like, oftentimes without having good drums, like drums are everything. If you don't have good drums, the song could be trash. It's trash, you know. If the guitars can be all muddy and distorted and gnarly, and everything else can be gnarly, but the drums like need to hit and like the groove needs to hit. So oftentimes that's what I start with. I'm also just like teaching myself how to play drums right now. Like
Okay.
I've played on and off for like a year and a half, but like this year was the first time I was like practicing paradiddles and like actually getting into it and like trying to learn the fundamentals. And so oftentimes I'm just like learning a song or whatever. And I'm like, all right, cool. I like this groove. And then I'm like, how can I switch it and make it my own? Or like, anyways, yeah, I'll record it in a different way so it sounds different. It's almost like self-sampling.
Yeah.
And then I just lay down a groove. A lot of my songs are like more rhythmic. I don't know. I won't say never, but I'm not a shredder really. I love shredding and it's cool. It's not my strength. Not my strength. I'm a rhythm guitarist at heart, like, and the groove is everything to me. So that's
Yeah.
sort of where I start, and then lyrics come. I often piece it together with. I keep a notes app. I'll just write down stuff here. Let me write something. Oh God, may this love never find me.
Okay.
I want to be so in love that it's stupid. Undiagnosed. That's just a good word.
That's a good word.
What's the shelf life on grief? Doesn't the devil have enough advocates? So like I'll write down these themes and ideas that I have, and then I'll play on those and build on those, and then that's where all the skill set of the last decade of making music. That's where that comes in.
Wow.
Music, the inspiration will take over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, so where does Jani see himself in? We won't go too far. Let's say 5 years. Where do you hope to be?
Hopefully, I'm gonna be making music. Hot wife, dog. I wake up, I drink some green mint tea. I go jog a couple miles. eat a Cliff Bar,
Sure.
play some guitar, call my homies, make sure they're good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool. Yeah.
that sounds like a beautiful life
Sounds
to
like
me.
great to me. Yeah.
It doesn't.
Great
It doesn't
to
need
me.
you. It doesn't need to be crazy.
Yeah.
We've done crazy stuff. We don't. Chasing peace is nice.
Yeah.
You know, I've done enough exciting things.
Well, cool. So what advice do you have for those out there who are looking to get into music, or really even just struggling with like finding their passion or following their passion?
Turn off this podcast and start today. Start right
Add to
now.
subscribe.
Don't wait. I'm 28. I waited so long. For real, like, there's so many, like, I think fear is just, fear is a huge theme in my life. And I was so afraid of like, oh, well, I didn't play this note well enough, or I didn't sing this bar, this bar wasn't the most clever.
Yeah.
This melody could have been better. I could have, dude.
That's the what ifs. That's the opposite side of the what
Yeah,
ifs. You have positive and negative what ifs.
Yeah. And yeah, you can't let that fear control you. If you let that fear control you and play it safe, you're gonna end up in a spot where you don't want to be. You're gonna be like, oh well. You're gonna end up in a relationship you don't want to be in. You're gonna end up at a job you don't want to work. You're gonna end up with friends you don't want to have.
Right.
Like, it's very important that you address that fear and just take that first step to be like, all right. And then it gets a little easier.
Yeah.
Every time. It gets a little easier every time. And then eventually you're like, okay, cool. This is how I think life was supposed to feel
Yeah.
from day to day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that's super important. Yeah. So that would be my advice. If you're a little bit further along, I mean, this is just advice to myself, is just to stay disciplined. Try not to listen to outside voices too much. You know, you got your band, or you got yourself, or, you know, one or two people. If you have a gut feeling like, oh, I think this would be good, I think I should move in this direction, try to take that step and see where it goes. You know what I mean? Once you get that momentum, just lock in. Just make sure you just stay foot on the gas. You know, can't lose at that point. You know?
Right. Okay, and where can they find you? All socials, you can shout yourself out anywhere, Spotify, all that good stuff.
Yeah. TE, comma to the top, JANI to Johnny. You can find me at middle name TJ on all platforms. Yeah, I'm mostly on Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah.
I don't really do Twitter anymore.
That's fine. Yeah.
It was cool when it was like 80 characters. Now it's too much.
Too much.
It's too much now. August 29th, we will be at, you can cut that last part. I don't know. August 29th, we're playing the Neighborhood Theater here in Charlotte. It's going to be my first headlining show of the year.
Oh, congratulations.
It's going to be huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some big plans for it. It's going to be a really fun show.
Okay.
Yeah, so come out to that, please. Come say hi.
Perfect. Well, appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Trey, man.
Check
Thank
him
you so
out.
much.
Yeah. That's it, man. It's a wrap.
We out, baby.